beautiful, beneficent, buoyant, birthing. Water is the gift of our blessed Goldilocks planet, close enough to the sun to keep it from freezing, far enough away to keep it from evaporating. Water is quite literally the birthplace of life on earth. It's the womb from which we all have come. It propels blood through our veins and gives life to every cell in our body. It quells the fires. It provides life for the wetlands and forests, which in turn make the air breathable. But if we are the beneficiaries of this boundless blessing, we must also be the keepers, the stewards. You who are watching and listening to this video already know that. You know that we can no longer afford to take water for granted. You know that there are plenty of stories about water pollution. But there are also stories of people taking up the cause of the environment. I'd like to share one of those stories with you. In September 2019, a small group from our Living Waters for the World team of the Ridgefield Crystal Lake Presbyterian Church went to the Guatemalan city of Santiago Atitlán, which sits on the shore of Lake Atitlán. Our goal was to install a water purification system at a school, the Colegio de Padre Aplas. But what we discovered is that our goal was only one part of a much larger plan for earth care. Lake Atitlán, you see, is a natural gem, a place of striking physical beauty. Its water provides a home for the ancient culture of the Mayan people. Even now, the language of Santiago is Mayan. The food, the clothing, the social life all reflect the Mayan world. But if we imagined a paradise protected by looming volcanoes and dense rainforest, we were quickly brought back to reality. Even paradise bears the wounds of environmental degradation. In 2009, Lake Atitlán cried out a loud warning. It was covered in a type of algae, which is the result of persistent and severe chemical and waste pollution. Suddenly, the people of paradise were awakened to the consequences of pollution. Part of Lake Atitlán's beauty and mystery is that it sits in a caldera, a deep basin with steep sides that was formed ages ago by an unimaginably strong volcanic eruption. Sitting by Lake Atitlán's shore, you are witnessing the result of a cataclysm that obliterated one world and gave birth to another. But being surrounded on all sides by the steep mountains, the lake literally has no outlet. Except for evaporation and human consumption, what enters Lake Atitlán stays in Lake Atitlán. For eons, this unique ecosystem thrived, but that was before a population boom, before the introduction of fertilizers, before plastic, and before the cyanobacteria bloom. Now add one other factor, poverty, and you have a recipe for the slow death of Lake Atitlán. The year after the algae bloom, scientists investigated. They well knew what the pollution was to be blamed on. But what circumstances created the pollution? In the end, the conclusion was that human waste was a key factor. Investigations showed that 80% of sewage was entering the lake without treatment. The future of the lake was up for grabs. In Santiago Atitlán, however, there are people who are taking the future of water in their hands. Organizations such as Los Amigos del Lago Atitlán support education, recycling, reforestation, and scientific study of the lake. Our water partners at el Colegio de Padre Aplas are active members of Los Amigos. They have embraced the mission of raising a generation who are caretakers of the earth. Our partners are taking the future of water into their loving hands for the benefit of all. Beautiful, beneficent, buoyant, birthing water. It has a future if we care.